do.
You should have seen him when he's getting ready for Scouting for Girls. He was just totally just like...
Oh, I can imagine. That's probably a bundle of nerves.
I was sat there, I was like, mate.
The thing is...
Who was you talking to then when you saw me? You know, you said, you saw me walking down. But
We were talking to the Women's Institute.
Oh, the Women's Institute lot.
WI, yeah.
Was you inside the tent then?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're eating carrot cake that we got given for free.
Very nice.
Yes, that was really good. We were speaking to these ladies.
We mentioned about cake, and they're like, "We have cake." We're like, "What?"
They were like, "What?" And they just slapped the most glorious piece of like carrot cake in our hand, and we were like, "Oh," like just
what they
eating
spend
it
all
out.
their time doing, though, isn't it? Making cakes and jam.
I want to get them on. I want to get them on. The schedule's actually heating up, and like it's getting quite packed at the moment. If you look at my board on the right there, you'll see the potential shows we've got. For the next 2 months, and it's like pretty much jam-packed. So things are going really well. I mean, this month has been a nightmare. It's been an absolute nightmare because the schedule, I was just like, things change, and it's not people's fault, but, things change, and when they change, I have to change the schedule, and Julie here has been an absolute knight in shining armour.
I haven't.
You're a busy guy,
You
though.
had a job, I didn't. Now I have.
Oh, right, now you're struggling.
So I'm like... Well, I can sneak out at lunchtime.
It's all right for him working part-time, isn't it?
Part-time, I'll tell Lee. Guys, welcome to this special catch-up episode of the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and we're here today to do a very special thing, and that is to welcome our Julie to the show. I mean, I know you've heard her already.
This here, Julie.
Yeah, Julie. You've heard Julie on the last two shows, actually.
Correct.
And it's not a thing I wanted. I didn't want to do it this way, man. I didn't want to do it this way. I wanted to introduce you to the show and then bring you on. But actually, you were brilliant in stepping up and like helping me out at the beginning.
Sure.
So this is our opportunity to give our listeners a little bit about you, learn about you, who you are, what you're going to bring to the show.
Who are you?
I'm not a local.
You reckon? Do you say Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury?
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
I'm sorry, but it's the Shrews, is it not?
Yeah.
It's not the Shrews, is it?
Thank you very much. You can stay. You picked a good one.
We're going to lose listeners. They're going to be like, that Shrewsbury Biscuit lot, they don't know what they're talking about. Excuse me, what did you say?
I would like to speak to the manager, please.
Yeah, so thank you, Julie, for helping me out the last few weeks.
No
You
problem.
came onto the team and straight away you were like, we can get such and such on, and I've got this, and I know who this is, and I was just like, yes, please, thank you, And you already, landed a great show for us last week, which was Karen Duffy.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to her. That was a really good show because she didn't know she was doing it until like the day before.
Right. And she was really nervous, wasn't she?
I went to her stall in the market hall, and I had a look at her art, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, I've written some notes, but I don't know if I'm going to use them. I don't know if they're good." She was getting really flustered, wasn't she?
Bit like you.
Yeah, but look what happens when I get in front of a mic, baby. Switch on the charm. If you can't switch on the charm, if I was behind the microphone going, oh my god, so we got Julie, what we were supposed to do again, then people wouldn't listen, but no, I'm Mr. Cool. Oh god. So yeah, thank you, Karen, for that. It was great. It was a really good interview, really nice interview. It's good to get like an insight. It's to like, we like speaking to creators, don't we? And to get like an insight into that world, and to know what it's like to be an artist, because it's not always like people think, oh, they just paint. They just paint. That's all they do. It's just paint. But they don't. There's a lot of like real psychological.
She sort of bared her soul a bit, I thought.
Yeah.
As well, in terms of like honesty and sort of lack of confidence.
It's quite a lot of pain for artists. Quite a lot of pain. You think about Eric Pfluger, who we know.
Yeah, true.
Some of the things that he goes into. Like he's at the moment, Eric. I'll have to show you guys. I will put a video of him working on our Biscuit page because he's fascinating.
He is fascinating.
He's doing this massive portrait. He's doing a visualization of the Force from Star Wars. So you say when you think of the Force, what it would actually look like, and he's doing the most intricate artwork, and it's got all pebbles all around the outside of it, and every single pebble is with the most minute detail.
Yeah, shading and everything, all by hand.
Where's he doing this then?
At home.
He's in.
Okay.
He's in Florida, I think. Yeah, he's in Florida.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Might be interesting to see what that comes out like then.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you. There is a picture already of the finished small article, but someone who Eric is refusing to mention wants a bigger version of it. So he's all very hush about it, but yeah, the the process that comes with that is very painful for him. Like he struggles a lot, and I guess it's an artist's thing.
Sounds like it, doesn't it, from what Karen was saying?
If it's anything like what I go through when I edit it. These podcasts, and I'm kind of go, oh, did he just say that?
I'm pretty sure that your editing a podcast cannot be paralleled with Eric's amazing artwork.
Yes,
dude.
it can. I am the Monet of podcasts. I am the pod king. Oh god. So anyway, Shane, we haven't seen you for a while. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just really busy. I've got a new job, as I've said before. And the whole point of the new job is that I'm supposed to have more sociable hours, but I just don't seem to have time to do anything at all.
Yeah, and with a lot of the schedule changes, we've had to plan things while you're in work and things. So it's not really helped. So
yeah,
I didn't want people to think you just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still alive. The big one, I think the biggest news is the fact that Lisa's pregnant.
Whee!
Congratulations, on having a baby.
So the Biscuit baby's going to be born in March.
And I did speak about this on Thor's Kin, that this is going to be a pod baby.
Pod baby. Yeah.
It's going to be the new Ryan's toy accessories, but
Well, the idea is that when we're really old and we can't podcast anymore, then Timmy and my kids could be able to take over.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So,
hi, this is Timmy of the Shrewsbury Biscuit. That's what's going to happen.
Michael's like, all right.
Yeah, so we've had to plan a few things. I've got a show for you though at the end of the month that we're going to try and organise, and that's with Rebrook Fishing. Fisheries.
Right, yeah.
And I want to say congratulations to him. Actually, his name is Tom Perring, and
I know Tom Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him from years and years ago. He probably doesn't even remember me. He probably does, actually. Not for the right reasons.
I think he...
But,
yeah. He did mention that he knows you.
Yeah, I know.
I've been speaking to him. We need to organise a time when you're free, and we'll organise that, because they've cleared up that pool. It wasn't licensed for years.
Yeah, it's...
and
I fished that pool.
Yeah.
And it's a good pool.
Yeah. Well, he said it wasn't bailiffed for years, and it got absolutely
Hammered,
rinsed.
yeah.
So
poached and all sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
which always what happens when this sort of stuff gets left.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a good interview.
Yeah. Well, I don't know nothing about fishing, so I was like, who knows about fishing? Shane.
My time to shine.
Also, we've got to say thank you to Katie Rink and the guys from My Shrewsbury for putting my mug in a massive picture. In fact, I'm wearing the same T-shirt today. I went to school to pick Timmy up. I was like, please, someone recognise me. I'm not joking. It was just a coincidence.
No, they didn't recognise you. They recognised me in the flower show, though. Of all the places.
And I did say to send Katie some pictures of you, Shane, but she must have just thought, we'll just go with Al.
Well, unfortunately, when you got a face for radio like I have,
No.
then unlike you, that has a face that's just a beautiful man, then unfortunately you do get cut out of these sort of things.
Yeah.
What I'm more upset about, though, is I didn't even get a mention, Julie. Not even one mention.
No, I must admit, it was very singular.
It was all me.
Well, like I explained on Thor's Kin, I am the lead singer of my band. It's all about me, baby. No, I think that happened just after we kind of did the Team Biscuit thing. So it was like everything was still fresh. Like, I don't know.
Magazine editors edit how they want to as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they must have just liked me more than they liked
you,
Shane.
To be honest, mate, I'm not even surprised. Anyway, enough
neither.
about me and you. We're supposed to be introducing Julie.
I got a couple more shout outs to give. This is what we're doing, shout outs, and then introduction of I've had a sip of beer. The introduction of our new Biscuiteer. Also, I want to say thank you to John Wagner as well. I'm going to be going to his house next week. We're going to be speaking about a new project he's working on. If you don't know who John Wagner is,
You should.
know. We've got a few famous people that live around Shrewsbury, and one of them is John Wagner, and he invented Judge Dredd. If you've never heard of Judge Dredd,
You should.
you should.
I am the law. And I've been reading up on a lot about John, and he's a very fascinating guy. So I'm really excited. I mean, I've met John a few times, but it's kind of like the awkward Alex. You all right, mate? How's it going? You all right, John? How's it going? And he's like, who are you again?
Have
I
you
don't
witnessed
know
this
you.
yet, by the way? The awkward Alex.
No.
Yeah, you need to witness the awkward Alex. It is the funniest
What,
thing
as
ever.
in
Because you know how he is now.
starstruck?
He's got his arm perched on the side of the chair, and he's all like suave, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the god of the podcast." Stick him in front of someone.
Famous.
Just remotely notorious. To
Hey,
be
I was
honest.
all right with Scouting for Girls. Once we got in there, I was fine. I was absolutely fine.
Do you get starstruck?
Not
You should see him in front of Charlie Adlard.
Oh no, I can imagine actually. Yeah.
He turns this little fangirl. He's like, hello, hello.
fine. I'm fine in front of anybody but Charlie Adlard, actually. Charlie Adlard's the only guy that does that to me. He turns me into a shy 16-year-old girl, and I don't know why. We need to get him on the Biscuit and understand this. He's going to come back on the other show, but we're going to get him on the Biscuit specifically because, he's like, lives in Shrewsbury. Yeah. So
That's literally what he does. He's like, hello.
Not this time. I'll be like, sit down, Charlie.
Well,
Let's
I know-
talk about
Don't forget,
this.
I know his cousin.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Julie knows everyone.
Yeah, this has been
Yeah,
a
but
great
his cousin
thing.
doesn't even live up here. His cousin lives down south.
Oh, that explains a lot.
So
You've also managed to sort out a big show for us. I don't know if it's bad luck to mention it now.
we'll whisper it first.
Stan and Lorraine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so
They're booked in.
we've got booked in for the 3rd to release on the 7th. We're going to be speaking to Stan Sedman and Lorraine Fletcher.
Hey.
Yep.
They're great and powerful. It's one when you're at work as well.
Standard.
Sorry.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Lots going on. One last shout out. I wanted to give a shout out to the guys at Immersive Events, and I did this on Thorskin. Made Shane feel really awkward because he doesn't work with them anymore. Which I do miss you there. I do miss you there, and I want you back. It could be done, I reckon. But we've been doing Prison Break now for the last few months, and this is how we all know each other. By the way, me, Julie,
Yeah.
and Shane, we all worked with each other at the. He's just looking at me like he wants to throw something at me now. But I've been working quite publicly on Prison Break for the last few months, and you've been seeing these pictures of me in my wig and my makeup, looking quite dashing. And I got to say, it's come to an end. There's a few more to do, I think, before they set up the new schedule. But it's been a pleasure working with those guys, as always. Like, I love working there.
Mm-hmm.
The people there are fantastic, and I just really enjoy it. It's just one of those things. Whenever we're all together, everyone's laughing and happy, and it's just. I would love to, like, wear one of those like chest camera thing, that people wear, like GoPro things, and just
yeah.
just go in and do a whole day, just capture what goes on when we're all together, because I think people would really appreciate it. Because it's a nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
So thank you to them guys. Okay, Julie Fox.
Julie.
Yes, Shane and Alex.
Okay, we're going to give you
Hello.
we're going to give you 20 minutes to talk now. Talk.
About
Oh
a
my
telephone
God,
box.
about what?
No, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And like I said, thank you for doing amazingly. Do you want to tell people a bit about yourself? Where'd you get that beautiful accent from?
Not Shropshire. No, I am originally from the town of Ali G, Staines,
The West Side,
West
massive.
Side, which is now Staines upon Thames and Surrey. It's gone all posh. Well, it hasn't, but so that's where I originate from. And then just purely by chance through work, the people that I used to work with sold their business to another company based up in Telford. So I had the opportunity to move up here, which I took. We rented for a bit out sort of on the A41 between Whitchurch and Market Drayton on the really dodgy double S bend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, so we basically rented there for about a year just so we could scout around the whole of the county and decide did we want to stay, and if so, where. And it didn't take long to decide we didn't want to go back down south. Sorry, family, if you listen to this. And friends. We settled, moved to the hills first. So we was out by
Into the valleys?
Into the Snail Beach.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's on the Welsh border, isn't it?
It's close
Literally.
enough.
Yeah.
We throw rocks at you. You throw them back.
So we was there for 2 years, and then we needed to be a bit more central to town, and that was just a little bit too far out. So we've just settled sort of north of town, only by about 4 or 5 minutes. Perfect. But then I jacked in my job, got a bit fed up, had enough. So then just reflecting on what I want to do, and spent the summer doing national citizen service, so working with a load of 15 to 17-year-olds. That was quite entertaining, but it's good. I'm going to be doing it again next year because I really enjoyed it. Then I've been some temping. So, and you talked about the link earlier, obviously, about how we know each other. So I got involved in the screen park stuff that they do at the prison, at the Dana.
Can I just butt in here and say Julie is frightening, absolutely frightening. You and Jill are absolutely fantastic at what you do.
I was just trying to remember when I first saw you guys. Shane, you was a zombie.
Yeah.
I was a zombie as well.
Yeah, but I more remember you being a butcher.
I was a butcher for a bit.
Was it the second one?
That was the second year.
Third. That was the third screen park, your second year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that might have been where. Yeah, because was that then when I was the killer clown?
Because the first screen park, I actually went as a customer, and then the second one,
that's when you had your brain out and you broke.
Then you come and you were a zombie.
And you did my makeup.
I did your makeup. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the third one, the third screen park was the big one, and that's when I think you were a clown.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were a butcher.
Butcher, yeah.
That must have been my first one then.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
And okay, so when we used to when we went to the auditions for the last one.
Oh God, yeah.
We had to go in this cage where you got to stand there and people are going to scare you. And they were like, "Hey, Alex, into the cage." And I'm always really cocky when they're like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm going into the scare cage." And they were like, "You've got Jill and Julie." And I was like,
"What?
Oh, why have you done this to me? Oh my God, I've never been so terrified in my life." Because she's lovely, Julie is. But she's a good actor. She's a good actor.
Yeah, but that's just it. No, especially when I went for those interviews, or not interviews, but like you say, what do you call it? That's it, auditions. And it was like, and the people there were chatting about like they'd done stuff at the theatre and amateur dramatics, and I'm thinking, I've done all. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I read it that.
And it was like, this is really scary. But
same happened with me. There was one spoken part, and it was the butcher, and loads of people went for it. And I went to do it, and I got completely lost in the role. I started flipping my lid. They were like, "You've got to get angry for some stupid reason about something," and I just went absolutely ballistic, and I was going psycho. And they were like, "Alex," and I was like, "What?" And I got lost in the role. My eyes were watering, the hairs were up on my back and neck. I was ready to smash it. And they were like, "Yeah, I like that." I liked it.
It's good fun because like everyone's just going for it, so you think, well, I might as well just go for it as well, and then it doesn't really matter how daft you think you may or may not have been.
Yeah.
But got the part, and then obviously I've done a couple of bits and pieces with them, and then, funnily enough, Lauren, who normally does the governor on the Prison Breaks. She's working where I'm temping at the moment.
Oh, right.
So that's how I've got this temp job for just a month.
Oh.
Just to tide me over till I go away. So I'm off to the US of A in 26 days' time.
America.
Why would you want to go to America? That's what I got to say. I mean, joke. We got listeners in America. I love America.
I know. I was going to say, I've always gone to the Far East, to be honest, but I had the opportunity, and I'm like, no, we want to do. I'm not going to places like New York to do shopping. Not into anything like that.
Yeah.
So no, we're doing a road trip. We just happen to be doing 3 days in Vegas first.
That's amazing.
So yeah, and then hiring an RV, doing a road trip, and then when I get back, I'll be starting my own business up, which I don't really want to say anything about yet, because I don't want anyone nicking the idea or the name. So yeah.
Well, hopefully we can catch up with you while you're stateside, and we can
I'm taking my laptop and all that. So
if you want, maybe I can borrow you a microphone or whatever. We'll sort something out, and we'll maybe do a podcast with you while you're over there.
Could you do it if I had it on my phone? Could you do it if I linked in on the phone?
We can sort something out because You can do it the way I speak to. I mean, I was joking, by the way, to our American listeners, which we've got like 3 of. If you know anything about what I do, my co-host for Thorskin out, Shane's co-host is in Vermont, and we do a lot of shows with people from America, and we have guests in every other week, like from America, and we do it through Google Hangouts. And if they got a microphone and they sound like I sound right now on my laptop, I can take that from the PC to the mixer and record it as they sound.
All right, then.
We'll sort something out.
I'll try and get you a coup then. Shall I in Vegas? Shall I try and find someone famous?
Yeah.
Link in. I'll go stalking people then.
Yeah.
Or just a lookalike of people. We can be like, oh, grab him.
Well, there'll be a million Elvis lookalikes, I
they-
suspect. I might just go to that little chapel place and dig someone out from there. We'll see. So,
There's an Ed Sheeran lookalike.
Yeah.
Grab him. He's ginger.
So that's sort of a plan. Then obviously, you did the shout out on Facebook, and I thought actually I'd love to do something like that. It'd be quite good. Help me know more and more about Shrewsbury, because the reason I know quite a few of the people that I've sort of flagged up to you is when I first moved here, I was fascinated by Shrewsbury because it's one of those proper typical old
everyone knows
cities
each other.
or towns, isn't it? And it's like all proper little back streets, the buildings, all of the unique independent shops, and obviously compared to where we used to live, it was just brilliant. So one of the very first things I did was when I linked into Lorraine on the For the Love of Shrewsbury Facebook group. I went on every tour that Stan was doing for about 2 weeks. So, I did the Shuts tour, I did the History tour, I did the Rooftop tour, the Georgian Quarter tour. I haven't done any for a while, just because of work got in the way and that. But I just got really fascinated by the town and just,
To be fair,
really love it.
It's something which growing up around Shrewsbury, I used to go into town with my dad, and my dad's Shrewsbury born and bred as well. And he showed me all the little back streets and how all the streets all linked together and stuff. And I can remember going through town not so long back actually with Adisa, and she's born in Shrewsbury as well. And actually no, she was born in Germany, but she grew up in Shrewsbury. And I said, well, where are we going now? She said, I can't remember where it was now. And I just darted down this back alley, and she was like, where are you going? I said, this way. She was like, what do you mean? I said, it's quicker.
You did that to me.
I did it to you, didn't I?
To me.
I just went off down this windy back lane and like just appeared like elsewhere, and she was like, "What?" I didn't know
That's
this was
what's
here.
brilliant, is it? That's what's fascinating about it is you can just cut through, and every time we've had family come up, I'm like, "I'll take you a tour around Shrewsbury and go up and down all these little different alleyways and point out buildings."
It's really handy.
I've been
But
living
it's the
here.
looking above. It's the looking above the shops, because obviously when you're walking along, and that's when on some of Stan's tours, and I mean obviously he'll talk about some of this on his show, I hope. If not, we'll ask him. But when you look above Costa Coffee, there's some carvings. I don't know why I'm looking up in the air, but I am, because I'm visualising it. And it's, you wouldn't know, but it's a carving of Maggie Thatcher's face and Michael Heseltine, I think. And it was carved in purposely by the carpenters or the woodworkers at the time when they redid it.
As a gargoyle.
Well, no, it was it was linked to some sort of Mickey take.
Yeah.
To what was happening at the time then. So, but you would never know unless you.
I can just imagine like the owner of the shop going, "We want a really scary beast."
I know just the person.
Maggie.
Hold my point. Yeah, to be fair, it's something I've always done is whenever you're walking through town, look up.
Yeah.
I say it to everybody. I was fishing on the river the other day with my dad, and there's 2 people walking through. One lives in Shrewsbury, the other one, her fella lives in Birmingham, and he's looking at selling his house and moving up now. And I said to him about going through Shrewsbury. I said, if you're going to walk through Shrewsbury and just have a look round, look up. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, seriously, just look up. Don't look at eye level. Look at what's above it.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Did he trip over or walk into a bollard?
Yeah.
Looking like Stevie Walker walking down Pride Hill.
But it's like that church that's tucked away right now. If you come to the bottom of Fish Street,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you've got the main big church, haven't you?
Yeah, that's not St Mary's, because that's the other way, isn't
The
it?
one across the road from the Hive.
No, because that's the
Past
old.
the OPO.
That's the old St Chad's.
Yeah.
If you're, maybe it's not Fish Street. It was the one with the cobbles. Yeah, it is the one
Fish
they
Street.
used. Yeah.
We turned right off the top of Wild Cop.
That's it. So if you're coming up the Wild Cop, you know that you got that little set of stairways that go up the back way.
Bear steps.
Bear steps, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes past a little Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
So if you go up, just past behind the Italian restaurant is another church.
Yes,
hidden.
yeah, down the Brighton side. Down there, yeah.
And again on one of the tours, like Stan, we went to go in there because it hadn't been open for ages, but the guy lives in it. But now they've reopened it again. But I think I don't think it's a proper full congregation. I think they're just people going. But you wouldn't know that was tucked away because the other big one in front of it that's not St Mary's. What's the other one that's right in front of it?
The one that's by the York is St Mary's.
St. Ark. No, what's it called?
It's right by the Bear Steps pub. Not pub, the Bear Steps Cafe.
See, this is why we do the Shrewsbury Biscuit, guys. Yeah. we literally know nothing about Shrewsbury.
You know the great big church that's where
St. Auckland.
The Prince Rupert Hotel.
Yeah. What's it called?
Yeah, opposite the Prince Rupert, isn't it?
It's got a funny name.
Just down from the Loggerheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of loggerheads.
It's that one.
I know what it is. I can't remember what.
But if you know what the church that Julie's on about, please write into the show.
But the other one that I'm on about is obviously tucked behind it that you wouldn't know because it's so it's hidden behind all the trees and all that as well. It always looks like it's derelict, but so apparently someone had been living in there for ages. The guy that runs it, and it wasn't a vicar, so but perhaps he is now, or maybe he should be. So in terms of like all the little bits and pieces, and like you say, looking around and seeing what's there, that's what really fascinates me is about Shrewsbury. And this was for me, shout out, because I'll learn more about the town.
Yeah.
And obviously, you guys are.
Well, me and Kaz have been living here a year, and we went down this alleyway. We just found the most amazing Harry Potter shop. It's just down an alleyway.
Grope
Lane. Yeah. And I'd never even. I was like, where has this come from? Like, and
pretty sure that at one point that was actually the red light district as well.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, Stan will be able to tell us all of that.
That's not while I was down Grope Lane. Okay, I got to tell you that right now.
I think that's why it's got its name, though. I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Going back, like way back. But yeah, in fact, till relatively for quite a long time, that was known as sort of the red light district. Not that I know from experience, by the way. Just putting that out there.
I think it was probably well before your time.
Well, let's be the judge of that. And if you know, write into the Shrewsbury.
If you've seen this man.
Well, Julie, thank you for joining the team. We're going to have a great time with you. A bit of depth to the team does no harm. Because look what we've done. While Shane's been at work, we've managed to get a few bits done.
Once you got me out of the way.
Well, Julie's going to America for 3 weeks, okay? So you get your time to shine.
You've got every day of the week, every weekend, and every evening in October.
Yes. Yeah. Cheers. That's all I've got. Once Julie's back, I'm on backbench again.
And to be fair, we're recording like 2 of October's interviews in September or the beginning of October anyway. So you can do Halloween with me. We'll sort something out for Halloween, Monopoly. So you'll be on.
You're looking for a ghosty thing to do, aren't you? Isn't there something scary you can interview?
And I messaged Joel at the prison, but I was thinking, we do a lot at the prison. Let's do something different. Like, let's go somewhere different. And I know that the Sabrina boat have got ghost stories going on the Mondays in October. But the Sabrina boat have had a lot of problems lately, and I was going to bring this up.
The vandalism, wasn't it?
The little twerps. They went and smashed holy hell out of the...
Well, it looks like they've obviously thrown something from up on that top level by, not the Armoury. What's the first one in... Well, it's not anything in the It's going to be that new American diner, isn't it? Yeah, and they've obviously lobbed something over the front, and it's gone through their canopy thing.
Yeah, and there was a diver in the
they fetched their signs out, didn't they?
Yeah, so I want to, if you're young and you're listening to this, I don't think anybody that's vandalised the Sabrina boat listens to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, but if you do, right, have respect for your town, right? Because like we were just saying, it's a magical town.
You should be ashamed
You're lucky
of yourself.
to live here. You're lucky.
Well, it's like the idiots that have done tagging, isn't it? The graffiti tagging at the prison.
Yeah.
Why have they done that?
I saw that as well. Lassie.
Whoever Lassie is, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Go to bed. Go to your room.
Yeah.
It's horrendous, We live in this amazing town, and if you're going to do something like that to a building, it's quite a historic building, the prison, and if you're going to do something like that to it, you got no respect, have you? You know.
If you want to do graffiti on something, I'm pretty sure if you go to participate in town, then I'm sure they'll accommodate your graffiti needs.
Yeah. And I know.
Just saying.
Ollie, who we spoke to at Comic Salopia, he does a lot with graffiti art in Birmingham. Yeah.
Who?
Ollie. You know, Ollie, he's got the big moustache and he's like this. That's amazing.
Why didn't you just say the Spider-Man jacket? I don't know exactly what you're on about.
He does a lot with...
They're 80 quid, by the way. I've already priced them up.
I think they're a bit more expensive for you because you're quite tall. A bit more spider material.
That was a really good Ollie impression.
I know, yeah, that was very good, wasn't it? Thanks for having me on the show. I've been waiting to get on your show for a long time, because he doesn't have many breaths in between his words, like, when he's talking.
He does talk very loud, and he's got this kind of accent where he's just...
Right, anyway, got a bit more news to do. Shrewsbury Beatles, make sure that you're getting your tickets and things.
The mayor. Good old Phil Gillum.
And Tim King.
Yeah. Did you get your email invite?
What?
No.
I didn't get one.
Oh,
To the opener.
yes.
Well,
Tim sent me one.
See what happens. Yeah, I know how I feel like now, Shane. Every week, when you get left out of the show.
I want. Can I
speak to the manager, please?
I just assumed we all.
This
got
isn't
one.
a laughing matter. This is serious.
Sorry.
Right. Well, I'm going to get on phone to Tim King tomorrow.
That's it. Cut. Stop recording. No, I'm done. I'm going home.
I'm done. We'll have to sort that out, won't we?
Yes, we will.
I think he knows I want to come anyway.
It didn't come from me, Tim.
I'm going to be there regardless. I am from the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
I get really good at emails now, especially passive aggressive ones.
Yeah. So no, in fact, don't bother with the Beatles. Don't go. Don't bother. I'm only joking. There is go and see those statues inside the Seventh Theatre.
Oh, yeah.
They're really cool. I got a picture of them. They're really big. They're bigger than you think. When you get in there, you're like, whoa! Actually, they're quite big. Great photo
To
opportunity.
be honest, mate, it's not a lot. It doesn't take much for someone to be big compared to you, does it? Let's be brutally honest. Like Timmy's getting close.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But you either need a really, really long selfie stick or someone to take a picture of you because it's.
How
they're
tall
quite
are
big.
they then?
They're about 8 foot tall. They're huge.
Oh, really?
So if you want to you couldn't take a selfie with all four of them. You'd have to choose your favourite and take a picture of them.
Choose your favourite.
Or put your phone on the other side of the lobby and just do a quick timer. One of those awkward things. Just don't try and knock the statues over when you're running over.
Is that how tall the real ones are in Liverpool then?
I thought you meant the real Beatles. No, the real.
No, I know that real Beatles are 8 foot tall. God, give me some credit.
Well, apparently they're exact replicas.
The Beatles 8 foot tall.
All right, I'm Ringo Starr. No, they're exact casts, aren't they, of them? So
Yeah.
they would be the
So
same
they would be
size,
the same,
yeah.
Okay.
Go on to their social media. They've got loads going on Facebook. Things like that. They post some amazing pictures and things every single day. There is a gallery on top of the Bear Steps. The Bear Steps gallery. There's a guy who's done a Beatles thing there, and I think.
And there's one in Frankwell as well.
Yeah, Shropshire Framing Studio.
Yeah, he's done
Shropshire
it.
Shrewsbury Framing Studio.
Which we still need to go and do that competition.
I was speaking to Shane Chebsey today, and I was looking for something by John, who I'm interviewing next week. He didn't have it, and I was going to say, if you got a copy of this, I'll drop the picture down for you. I should have just offered to do it anyway, shouldn't I, really? Or you going to town tomorrow? I don't know where to put it. I don't know how to do it. I don't use
I'm
eBay.
away. I'm in Liverpool tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, so if somebody
Why don't
wants
you
to
just give it to Shane and let Shane sort it?
Yeah, I will.
Because
Okay.
he's much more efficient than you are.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm efficient with the show, but things like that I'm not good at. So there's that with the Beatles, and they're releasing a one-off Beatles beer, like the Beatles.
Oh, yeah, no, he was
they've got
talking
the
about that, yeah.
Beatles thing on. They've got the poster thing on the front of the beer, and it's just like a one-off thing that's been professionally made. I was like, save me a few.
I was going to say, shoot a biscuit. We'll promote it for you.
Yeah. Oktoberfest on the 4th or the 5th of October. Is anybody going to that? You're working, aren't
I'm
you?
working on the 4th in
And I'm away,
in the gin
dude.
bar.
I'm away.
I think I'm just going to...
I'm going for a weekend away in Wales with my sister.
I think we've missed it with the biscuit now, so I think I'm going to have to go and just get drunk instead, I think, rather than work it.
Last Oktoberfest, I was in the Scare Maze.
I was going to say there was a scare maze last year, wasn't there? They're not doing that this year.
Don't know.
No, actually, I don't think they are.
I think
'cause I've seen. No, I don't think they are doing anything
I
like that.
strongly advise that they didn't do it last year.
So it was a bit mad, wasn't it?
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because people tend to get a little bit handsy.
That's how I got introduced to the Prism, is through Oktoberfest the year before. And I was like, I've got a podcast to do. I'm like, really? I'll not go. Joel sent me through, and I did it. I gave him my details. The next few weeks, I was doing like, I was meant to do like an exclusive for Thorskin, like, this is the scare maze, blah, 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 blah. And I just didn't leave.
Stayed in the maze.
Yeah, I think I want to check that out. I'm going to check that out as a paying customer, though, and just get drunk, I think, rather than... I might take my Tascam just in case.
I think... Which one was it? Or was it... I can't remember now. Forget that. Sorry. Something popped into my head, and it just suddenly just flitted off.
I think it's 2017. The one I went to. Yeah. Because 2018, I missed it because that was like I think I launched the biscuit like a week after or a week before or something. I didn't have time to do it, but yeah, I want to go to that. I did say congratulations to Tom for the rebook fisheries because that's good. We got some Monopoly news. Monopoly news. I am speaking to these guys because I really want to do a catch-up interview with them, but they did a press release. It was meant to be for the 11th, and we don't release our show till
Monday,
yeah,
16th.
The 16th. Because I've got my calendar written in 2 months. It's by monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. So the Dingle has been named as Old Kent Road. We've got our first property on the board, and that is going to be the Dingle. Now look, all right, okay. I know it's got Old Kent Road, which is one of the brown spaces.
Yeah,
which, but I still think it's really nice that the Dingle is going to be on that Monopoly board.
Yeah.
Hang on, isn't it? It's the Shrewsbury Monopoly board, isn't it?
Yeah.
So isn't anywhere in Shrewsbury going to be on the board?
I think. Well, it can't. I think there's a lot of.
Or have
places.
they got to keep the original Monopoly?
No, that's what I mean. So instead of Old Kent Road, you're going to get the Dingle.
Have they not named all the others yet?
That's
then?
the first square we've got so far.
But it's coming out. It's coming out at Christmas, isn't it?
It says it's now exactly.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's coming out at Christmas.
Yeah, it says it's now exactly 2 months until Shrewsbury Monopoly big reveal, and today the
maybe
Dingle
they've got them and they just haven't announced
Yeah.
them.
doing a bit, man. Perhaps
Sorry.
controversially, it's revealed as the Old Kent Road of Shrewsbury, and it says please see image attached.
Brilliant.
I don't think I was meant to read that. The makers of the new game are announcing the first property space on the board, which is in fact also the first which appears in chronological order.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Dingle, congratulations! That's a really nice bit. And we spoke to the gardeners from the Dingle when we did the flower show thing, and I think it's deservedly it's been immortalised on a Monopoly board, and that's amazing. And we're going to get more of that. There was some other news as well.
I hope they've got the market hall as one of the spaces.
Yeah, that'd be
bits.
nice.
Properties.
That's the word. Properties. Yeah, and I mean the market hall, not the old market hall. I mean the 60s market hall.
The proper one.
The ones that nobody knows about.
That and the now it's a cinema, isn't it? No,
the old market hall.
Old market hall, yeah. That'd be good as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, we did have a space before. I beg your pardon. Number 7.
See what I mean?
If you roll 7,
He had one job, and he still managed to muck it up.
if you roll a 7, you'll land on the 7 hospice.
Oh, okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
So is go to jail the Dana?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what, if I was doing the board, that's what I'd do it as. And
That's
then
it then. You
and where
heard
would
it.
car parking be? Where would car parking be? The multi-story?
If you say, I was going to say, if you say the multi-store, I'm going to throw something at you.
Or at Frankwell car park then? Oh, I'm going to
You
start.
heard it first at the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yeah, we're now making our own up.
Yeah.
What about eat at 8? Is that if you throw 8? That's one of the restaurants in town, isn't it? Eat at 8?
Let's just stop.
Read that for me and put it in some sort of sense. Does that say it's on square number 7?
Does it say, Alex, don't read this out until the 15th
No, that was
of November?
okay. So they keep sending us these the press release things, which is great. We could put it on our social media, but I thought it'd be great to do like regular like news updates of Monopoly. We have Monopoly news. Does that say it's
This
on?
Shrewsbury Monopoly players will soon be able to roll 7 with their dice, 7 being the most popular Monopoly number to throw, really,
Yeah.
and land on 7 hospice. Okay. Does that mean you can throw 7 at any point and you'll always go to 7 hospice, and if you pass go, you collect 200 maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe it's one of them type things. But then that's not on a roll of a dice.
I didn't know
normally,
that
is it?
7 was the most popular number to throw.
Neither did I.
Yeah, it is. That's why you got the lucky number 7s. Game. You know the dice.
Oh,
Well,
like,
it's
the fact
isn't that the
hand
crabs table or
movements at the same
something?
time.
Or whatever
well,
you call
can
it.
get a 5 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 6 and there's more combinations of 7 than on a dice than anything else.
No, thank you for demonstrating your
Throwing.
amazing throwing skills and your math skills. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I'm a big boy.
Oh, I'm gonna
do it all on your own?
try and guess what all the others might be at some point.
You can write them all down and then
Yeah, I'm
wager.
gonna
like,
write them down. Yeah, should we do that?
Should
We should do
Oh, we
that.
should do it for
write
charity.
down all the places we think might be on the board
Yeah.
and where. Make it even harder for ourselves. What will be the browns? What will be the purples? The greens? What would be Pall Mall? What would be the top one? Mayfair.
Oh yeah.
If you had to pick somewhere
Bellevue.
in Shrewsbury, where would it
Bellevue.
be? Bellevue. What is Shrewsbury's jewel in the crown? And please don't say the football club.
I was going to say no.
No. I don't know. That's quite difficult, isn't it? I think.
Wow, see, this is we need to do this.
Right, okay.
Outside of the cast, we need to come
Yeah.
up with what we think it might be. And
So
then...
are we agreeing and that says that it's on space number 7?
No, it says the rolling of the 7 on a dice.
Yeah.
Doesn't say space number 7, which is, I think that's a bit deceptive. They've either wrote it wrong or it's a little bit of a red herring.
Well,
I
okay,
don't know.
guys at the Monopoly. I hope that's enough of a shout out for you. We're talking about what you've sent
We'll
us.
tell you what should be on the board.
Yeah. And I've spoke to the guys as well, and we're going to get a copy of Monopoly to give away as a part of a competition as well.
Can we enter it, or we're not allowed because we'd be classed as employees?
No, you won't be able to. No. Okay, so guys, Okay, so I was speaking to the guys from the Shrewsbury Literature Festival just today. It was really funny because I was trying to email them on their website and it kept coming up with an error, so I just kept sending this email. So I was like, oh, it's not working. So I messaged them on Facebook and I was like, hi guys at the Literature Festival. I've been trying to email you on the site. It's not working. They were like, you sent it like 3 times in a row. And I was like, I'm really sorry. And they're like, yes, you can come and be part of the literature. Just don't email us ever again. No, they were like, yeah, it'd be great. You know,
It's okay, just do it quietly.
I got a meeting with them on the 19th, and I'm going to go and see them and see how we can take part. Because I spoke to Lisa Blower, author who we had on the show before. She's a good friend of the show. She might be taking part with a few things that's going on with the show. She's advised that maybe we could do some sort of like a Comic-Con style panel with some of the authors, have an audience in front of us and take questions from the audience. I thought that'd be quite cool.
Good idea.
That's going to be when I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figures. No.
No, take a day off.
No, the 19th is just a meeting. That's not the festival. The festival is the 20-something of
Pretty sure he's
October.
doing this on purpose. Pretty sure.
Well, no, if it's
No, it's
20th of
not.
October, I won't be here.
No, it's not. It's 20... I've got it in my book.
I think by then I'll be in San
I've got
Francisco.
it in my book.
Maybe.
It's in my book. Oh, God.
You know, like when you have a massive red button
Yeah.
and you just
We
Hit
should
it.
get
Just
we
keep
should get one of those Britain's Got Talent. Every time I say something stupid. The Literature Festival.
I would love that.
The Literature Festival is on the 22nd to the 24th of November. So we've got plenty of time to plan something. We'll go to this meeting and I'll be like, hey, yo, I got a plan over here. You know, we can sort something
Doing
out.
this here podcast.
We want to talk to you about those books and things. No, I love speaking to writers. I love speaking to people that can create because just like we did with Karen last week, it's just to get inside that mind just for a little bit and have a walk around and have a look around at what's going on inside there. I think it's quite inspirational, you know, to find out what ticks in someone's minds to make something so beautiful. Like, you know, sit there and put so much time into writing a book. I tried writing a book. I spent about 4 weeks on one chapter, and it's horrendous. Being stuck up inside your head
Oh yeah.
while trying to write is terrible. It's horrible, and that thing has been in
Bad
my
enough
drawer.
writing an email.
Yeah.
Well, I did throw something up on Facebook. I wanted just to ask people if they got anything they wanted to add. Let's have a look. What's going on? Here we go. Steve from next door. Famous on the other show. He sent us a post from the Inn on the Green. It said, I'll read it out. It says, our fantastic customers are gearing up for a charity fundraising extravaganza for Kidney Care UK. On the 21st of September, the intrepid cycling team of Bob Martin, Phil McEwen, Justin McEwen, and Sam McCarthy will be cycling 50 miles over the mountains from Bala to the Inn, and you can read about this on their Just Giving page. Then on the 5th of October, the courageous duo of Lorna Jones and Rachel Phillips will complete a parachute jump. Finally, the fundraising will culminate in a charity night here on the Inn on the Green on the 2nd of November. For more details to follow. Good luck, everyone. And it's basically to raise awareness for Kidney Care UK, which is a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, so check out the Inn on the Green's Facebook page for more information on that. Good luck to everybody taking. That sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
Actually.
100%.
Yeah.
Big up Inn on the Green as well, man, for getting behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Massively. Fair dues to them.
Yeah. Because I think last year they hosted the Cords Crush Cancer thing that they did. Was it this year, last year? We just missed it, so that's me opening another beer. That's the kind of night it is at the Shrewsbury Biscuit tonight. I've been writing down a few things. There are a few things we can probably get involved with for November. There is a chocolate festival on the 17th of November.
We like chocolate.
Oh, is that in St Mary's?
Probably.
Yeah, they normally do it in St Mary's.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Julie to be like, yeah, I know the owner's cousin.
No,
Like,
I don't know anyone there. I've just been to that. And I know that's where
Oh,
I went to it last year. Yeah, lots of nice,
I do
unusual
like chocolate.
chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
There is a Peaky Blinders party on the 20th
Of when?
of November.
I've never seen it.
Don't
sorry.
Shut the door. Shut the door.
We've already got
Sorry.
on the other show. We've already got a shame #shame.
Yes, that is a thing.
You've not seen Peaky Blinders and you wear that hat.
I wear this hat because I'm bald and my head gets cold. Okay.
Just get a bobble hat.
But looking like an idiot. And I don't wear a baseball cap because I look like that. So
Hey, what's wrong with my baseball caps, man?
so I'll wear a flat cap because it's a lot more me, to be honest.
You got catch up TV?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go then.
I'll tell you what's been I've been finding really weird, by the way, is the school routine, right? Because like it's Timmy's first week for me, picking him up, taking him to school and stuff, and it's really hard, man, because I live 5 minutes away from the school, right? And so even though I'm really close to the school, it's really hard to judge what time you leave the house to go and pick him up. I got there like nearly 10 minutes early, too early today, and I was standing around with nobody
Like a
about,
weirdo
just outside of school.
On your phone.
I was on my phone taking selfies.
selfies.
Yeah,
Even weirder.
yeah. So I've got to get used to that. But it's nice him going to school and stuff because it's what you wait for, isn't
It's
it?
like-
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
He'll be telling you he hates you and all sorts of stuff in no time.
I tell you what, a big shout out to Column School actually, because they gave Timmy a Shrewsbury Biscuit on his first day.
It's like they knew.
Yeah, that's what I put on Instagram. I was like, it's like they knew, man. They gave everybody, all the new moms, the new parents, the parents of the new children, like a kit with a Shrewsbury Biscuit, a tea bag, and some tissues, because there's obviously a lot of emotional moms helping their kids off. I was like, how cool is that? It was wicked.
What's the tea bag for?
Have a cup of tea.
Okay.
What
Oh,
else
and
you gonna do
dunk
with the
your
tea bag?
biscuit.
What else are you going to do with the tea bag?
Well, yeah, that's what I wondered, but just a tea bag. They'll not give you any milk, sugar, water.
Do like Mr. Bean, where he puts the tea bag in and then pours the water in. He's like, oh.
Shakes his head a bit. Right.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. And, I've got to get used to this standing around on the playground, like, awkwardly not talking to people.
You've also got to, because obviously my kids are a little bit older than Timmy, you've also then got to endure the playground etiquettes. There's an actual TV show that was called something like The Playground or something, and or School Gates or something like that. And you have you have like groups. It's a bit like in school. Literally, you have groups of parents. You have like the clicky group, and then you have like the outcast group. Then you have like, and honestly, and they all want you to be part of their group. And it's really frustrating because you don't know who to talk to.
It's like that game Murder in the Dark, isn't it? You're just walking around, you don't know who's
you have like the group of mums that they always after they drop the kids off, they go for coffee at one of their houses. And if you go, then it's all very like they have to do it there. Where it's really weird.
I'd say
really
for
weird.
you guys, just join the group of dads. There must be other dads.
Even that's a bit.
Oh, is it?
The dads are a little bit better, in all fairness. Not being sexist, but generally the dads are just as awkward as all the other dads, and they're just like, I hate this. This is rubbish. Like, I'm just doing this because the missus don't want to do it, and I've got to go to work in a minute, and like, I don't really understand what's going on. I'm gonna forget something anyway. So, like, either way, I'm just gonna fail at this. So I'm just gonna, So all the dads all stand there really awkwardly, in all fairness, but like,
It's a science, though. It is a science.
It is a science.
Think about it.
You'll learn this. Yeah. Once you start getting to talk to people, you'll start feeling the tug of war.
Yeah.
It happens.
I
personally just made myself so much of a social outcast that nobody wanted me in any of their groups. Worked brilliantly for me.
I'll walk in with my Shrewsbury Biscuit t-shirt and my microphone, and nobody will want to speak to me. There you go. Problem solved.
Done.
But I might get escorted off the premises.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
No. It's quite cool. It's nice. It's a nice thing for me. I mean, I like meeting new people. It's kind of why I do what I do. And you know me. As socially awkward as I can be, I'm actually quite open, guys. I'm kind of, all right, how's it going? I was talking to a parent today, come up and say hello, if you see me. Unless you're, I don't know, psycho.
I don't know how you manage that, because you're about as socially awkward as they come.
I can be socially awkward, but I'm not socially awkward, if that makes sense. It's got to be me on a bad day. We had two ladies on the other show, right? From a very big podcast, right? We had them.
Yeah.
We had them for an hour, and we do a 90-minute show, right? So I knew we'd have them just for an hour, and I didn't. As it came up to the hour, we're having this amazing show, we're having so much fun, and I didn't quite know how to say to them politely. I know we've got you for an hour now. Now's the time. If you want to go, you can go, like sort of thing. And it was obviously this is like live, and there's no way I can be like, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do this. So I said to them, I know we've only got you for an hour, ladies, so now's the time. If you wanted to quietly shuffle off, you can do. Everybody paused and then burst out laughing. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, I've been really rude, haven't I? I just told these two ladies to quietly shuffle off
his podcast.
Off my podcast.
And they did.
Oh my God, did they?
And it took Tom, my co-host, 3 weeks to get through to him because they do a horror podcast. We want to do something with him Halloween. It took him 3 weeks to get in touch with him.
Oh,
Alex, what did you do?
I think the terms and conditions are like, we'll do the show as long as Alex isn't there.
Yeah. Honestly, like, he's dropped some bombshells before now.
I have, yeah. But it's kind of part of my charm. Oh, that Alex, he's just so ridiculous, isn't he?
even with interviewing Scouting for Girls, he was just as...
I was fine during the interview. Right, when it comes to my interviews, right, you saw today, I don't know if you saw my social media, I'm quite intricate with my research and my... Look, I mean, I've been writing about John Wagner all day and writing questions for him.
Did you write about me?
No, because this is... I like... When it comes to interviewing someone of fame, you've got to do your research, because I can't be like, hi, John, what's it like living in Scotland for all your life? He was actually born in America. I can't say... You got to do your research, and... You were Scouting for Girls. They were like they were one of the biggest bands in the UK at one point. So I was kind of like, what do I ask them? But
and the truth that is where I come into my own, because I was just like, we'll just chat to them like we're normal do.
Yeah.
Well, we can't just go into conversation, start talking about tractors and flat caps, Shane. So there's got to be some sort of structure to it. He's exhaling, but he knows I'm right.
You need some new material, man. Like, I think you need a day job.
I'm enjoying myself right now. Anyway, we've got loads to bring to the Biscuit. We've got a really tight schedule up for the next 2 months, and I'm really excited about what we're going to bring you guys. We've been invited to BBC Shropshire to talk about Memoirs of a Salopian. Shane's looking at me like, why? Do you know what? What would be going on the radio be like for you? It's live.
It'll be different. Well, not so much different than this, really. I guess it's same sort of thing.
Just don't laugh.
Just don't laugh
because you've got a very uncontrollable laugh.
I do. I know I do. I'm really
it's
sorry.
It's quite funny. It's got a cute.
I'm sorry.
No, I like
there's
it.
that, and I have to really try. I have to put actual thought into not swearing.
I was just about to say no swearing. Yeah.
I have to be really careful. And the good thing is with like doing this is that Alex can snip it out. You know. But I do have to put actual thought into it. But no, I think it'll be good. And I'm quite proud of the whole Memoirs of Sloping thing. I mean,
I think it's going to be really good.
Has he told you about how this actually come about?
No.
It's quite funny.
Well, the other job that I had before, I was driving a lot, and obviously know that Alex works nights. So I was just like, I was driving to London the one day, and like it was about 4 a.m. or something, wasn't it? It must have been at 4 or 5 a.m. It was really, really early, and like I just sort of went. I just started messaging out because I was just driving along, and I used to just get these thoughts, these ideas in my head. And he's previous to that, he's been saying to me, "Oh, I need to think of a new segment for the show." So obviously, the whole time I was driving to London, I was just like, "What could we do? And it just came to me like from nowhere. So literally, I was messaging out. I was like ringing him. I was like, ow. And he was like, whoa, what are you doing?
18 missed calls.
He was like,
4 o'clock in the morning.
Ring me. He rang me back. He's like, dude, what's the matter? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I thought he lost his flat cap.
What the hell's the matter with you? I was like, I've got this amazing idea. And to be fair, I told you, and you were just like, to be fair, actually, for you, that's pretty good. And we spoke about it since. So obviously, if you only just started listening to the podcast and like you don't really know how I'm talking about, there's this segment that I want to start getting going, which is going to be called Memoirs of a Salopian. And the idea is that we want to get old people.
Yeah.
You know when you get like your granddad that sort of starts going, when I were a lad and during the war and all this sort of stuff. And all their family goes, oh, he goes again. I want to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to them. And like, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 2 hours, however long they need, just to talk about. But I want it to sort of be about Shrewsbury and about what it was like back in the 60s,
back in the day,
50s,
Good
that kind of stuff, and talk about the modern rockers, and talk about that kind of stuff that went on in Shrewsbury, the stuff that they personally seen. Because the way I see it, I mean, my nan before she died, she carried a ration book, and like she was about, my granddad was born in 1901.
Yeah.
And like, but that all that sort of history and like experience and the stuff they've seen and things like that is gone.
Yeah.
And
unless someone, like you say, tells it.
So that I want to talk to these people. It doesn't really matter who it is. I don't care if they're just Joe Blogson down the road or if they're an ex-military man, ex-serviceman, an ex-copper. It doesn't matter who it is. If they're if they've got an experience that they want to get recorded. And they got a piece of history that they want to get down it recorded. Then that's what I want to do, and I want to put it into a segment of Memoirs of a Salopian, and I want to start getting that going. So it's a regular piece of and it's gonna be.
And do you know what? Like some of the most mundane like conversations can be quite enthralling. Like I remember speaking to my wife's uncle and his brother. He's 70 now, and his brother's a little bit older than him. And they grew up in Wrexham. They're from Wrexham, and that's where I grew up, my early years. And they were talking about bits of what bits of Wrexham looked like when they were kids. And I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Well, this is what it looks like now. And now they've changed it to this. And we just sat there for about 2 hours talking about Wrexham at the table. And my wife and the rest of the family are like, what are they going on about?
Exactly. I mean, just one that just popped into me now. Not my mum's dad. His old house was he had a big crack on the wall, and like my mum saw it and asked my granddad, and he told my mum that like that happened. He can remember it happening when he was a kid, and his parents were in the garden, and then he come to the window, and they were like, go and get under the table kind of thing, go and hide, and he went and hid, and he heard this really, really weird noise, and then a massive like bang. And it was that, the doodlebug thing. That's it, the doodlebug. And it blew up half the street.
No way.
And this crack in the wall was all the damage that, that was the impact from
for that one house.
Yeah,
that
for the one house, yeah.
And they left the crack there.
Yeah, they left it there. Well, they couldn't afford to get it fixed, back then.
Yeah.
And like something to do with like another relation of mine going way back kind of thing. I think it's like my granddad's dad's brother or something, whatever, was like a bit of a rag and bone man, and he had like a warehouse, and up in the attic of one of these like warehouse, this barn or whatever, he had all like military uniform and like guns and all sorts of stuff that he just like picked up on his travels, kind of thing, like, and it's just stuff like that, and you just like the stuff that he must have seen, and like the fact that my granddad even heard that noise and was around in that era, it's just like that to me. It's just like mind blowing,
like fascinating, isn't it? Because it's a lot of history.
Exactly, but all of that as time goes on, it's just disappearing.
Yeah,
and people, and a lot of these families and stuff. I'm guilty of it myself. A lot of these families just roll their eyes because they're like, oh, he's doing it again. If we can get it recorded, and over time we'll start collating, especially if you centralise it around Shrewsbury. Start collating all these bits of history, and be able to start jigsawing them all together. Eventually, we'll start getting connections. And what I want to start happening with the Memoirs of Fallopian is that as soon as one person starts, once it starts going, it might start triggering memories from other people, and they'll be like, "I remember that." And they can come on, they can start, from their perspective.
So you're getting all different angles then, aren't you, from different people?
Exactly. And it all sort of moulds together into this massive knowledge base of information.
And are you going to capture it all in notes? Because then you could make it a proper memoir as well, something that someone could buy.
Exactly. So that's the idea. Anyway, that's where it all sort of comes from.
Good shout.
And that's what I hope to get going. I still haven't had anybody actually say they want to come on yet. But
that's why we want to go on the radio. That's why we want to go on the radio. Tim and Mike on. It's because I got up. That's why we're going to go on the radio, because we're going to put an appeal out, right into us, because we are interested. It's going to be like a spin-off show, so it's not going to take up one of the 4 spots for the actual podcast. We can do it like one every month or something, you know.
I think I've got an idea for the first one, just as a bit of a trial.
Stan Stedman.
Well, I was actually thinking about my dad. Because I can really get into it.
If we can set a tone,
that's what I mean. And I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
And he won't mind me delving into his past. And I know exactly where to go.
Oh, you've killed Julie. That's it. And this is Julie's third and last show. She's going to give me Vegas tickets.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so we're going to get out of here. I think we've been doing an hour. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me, Shane.
Right.
I'll see you again in another
about 6 months. Yeah. It's not been that long. It's been a week.
3 weeks. About 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it's got to have been. I mean, we're doing Thorskin stuff, but yeah, we did.
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been about 3 weeks. Yeah.
No.
Has it?
Yeah.
Not since I've been doing this.
No. Since he's last show we did to go.
It's been sooner than 3 weeks. Definitely.
You did the flower show. That was the last one you did together, yeah?
For the biscuit, yeah.
Yeah.
But we've also done Thorskin.
Oh, right, yeah, for the Thorskin. Yeah, we did one last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I was going insane then. I was
doing the sensible thing and thinking about the biscuit,
I was sitting there thinking, have I lost 2 weeks here somewhere? I was like, I don't need to go see a doctor.
There are people that listen to this show that have no idea what the other show I do is like.
Genuinely, I was just like, have I lost a couple of weeks here somewhere?
Oh, by the way, you said you had to listen to the other show. What did you think?
Oh no, I just switched it on one evening when we was lying in bed, and it was like, listen to this other show. It's so very different to this one.
Yep.
That's all I'll say. Go and listen to it yourselves. No, it was entertaining. It was quite funny, actually.
And it's a parental advisory. So
very much so.
Over 18s only, I'm afraid. Anyway, let's get out of here.
There were some words you said that I was like, ooh.
Alex is quite a firecracker, isn't it?
Well, I think it might. What's the other guy? Tom.
Saucy beast.
I was like, ooh.
Tom's naughty.
They're obviously allowed to say that a lot more in America than we are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Vermont, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get out of here. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining me on the show. It's been really, really nice talking to you. And if you guys have got anything to add to the show, make sure you email us. Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast @gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just do a Google, guys. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Are you done now?
Yes, I'm done. We'll be back next week with the very famous John Wagner. Peace out, guys, and have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.